This is Barmouth in Wales. I went out with Mum and Dad for a day trip there, well, an afternoon trip. It was 12 o'clock by the time we got there, parked up, got a ticket for 4 hours. That's the scampi and chips that I had, 10 quid, worth it, it's very nice. And here's a few shots of the beach. We also ran into my grandfather here a few times. This here is the ferry crossing over to the other side of the bay. £4 each way on the ferry, which isn't bad.
You're in the hardest part. I think I'm just done.
And this is the other side. You can park up over on this side as well for free and get the ferry in if you wanted to, rather than pay to park on Barmouth car parks. Then it was about a 2-mile walk, I believe, into Fairbourne. And this is a much quieter beach than Barmouth Beach. I'm doing this narrating part because I didn't use my microphones here and there's a lot of wind noise. So I'm not going to leave too much of the original audio in. And down here is a narrow gauge railway track for a little train that ferries between Barmouth and where the ferries are. These blocks, I believe, are part of the old sea defence from World War II. Obviously not the stacks on them. Maybe. Looking for some skimming stones. I don't have my microphone on either, by the way. It is a long time since I've felt a beach on my feet. Watch out for the seaweed. Oh yeah, that's nice. Where's the sun? It must be 6 or 7 years since I was last at the sea. Right, I'm going to see if I can set this up somewhere where it's not going to get washed away. See if I can skim these stones a bit. I managed one semi-decent one. The water is cool, but it's not cold. It's actually quite nice. I'm going to enjoy this for a bit because I don't have a microphone with me. There's no point trying to record too much. Then we have the ferry trip back. The waters were a little bit choppier this time, but nothing bad. Today's job is this little bit here. So what I'm doing is putting in a little splashback for the sink, but also finally getting the remote switch for my inverter put in, so I don't have to keep crawling down under the bed to switch my inverter on or off for the microwave or any other mains power I want it for. I figured that'd be a nice place for it, and I've managed to make that hole in there so smug. Smug? No. Snug, that's the one. I was close, one letter out. It's so snug, I don't think I'm even going to need to screw it in. Not that I'm sure where the screws are anyway anymore. So the next step is to round off the edges on this piece, sand it all down, do a test fit, and then see about painting it up. All in all, I think that'll do me quite nicely. I've got enough room back here to run the wire up and in. It won't be finished off properly today because the paint takes, I think it was 12 hours to dry, and it'll need a couple of coats. Then I need to get some varnish. Yeah, that'll be another small job done out of the way. Finally. If I can get that finished this weekend, I might head off next week for at least a few nights somewhere. Tempted to go back to Wales. It was nice at the beach. What is that? It's 3 hours drive? Thereabouts. 3 hours drive, about 110 miles. Weather should still be decent. Not as hot as this week's been, but decent. Anyway, I'll get cracking on with this. Round them edges off. that's all sanded down, ready to go, so just need to wipe it down now with some white spirit. Let that dry and it's ready for the first coat of paint. Because as nice as that piece of wood is, to make it look right, it's going to have to be painted. I just hope that I guess which grey I used on the rest of it when I did it a couple of years back. It's either a slightly lighter grey or a slightly darker grey. But it's not the very light grey, I know that much. Right, give that 20 to dry out. I'll do the back of it after I've painted the rest. First coat done. Now I've got to wait 12 hours for that to dry, I think. Which will take us to... we'll put my phone somewhere. 13:12 at the minute, so that'll be 10 minutes past 1 at the... Dad didn't put them away properly. That'll be 10 minutes past 1 in the morning. I can do a second coat. I don't think I'm going to get up to do that though. Yeah, first thing tomorrow morning when I'm up, I'll get on that. To be fair, in this heat, I could probably do it again before I go to bed. So that'll still be another 9-10 hours. We'll see what it's like then. But for now, I shall wash the paintbrush out, finish my cup of tea and tidy up a bit. 10 to 3 and I've just done the second coat since it was bone dry. So at this rate I could probably get the other side painted this evening as well, which means fitting it tomorrow. That is already dry to the touch. Varnish, I need to get some varnish. It's quite nice. Even though it's painted, you can still see the wood pattern pretty decently. It's going to be nice to use my inverter without having to crawl under the bed for it. Current temperature in here is 28 degrees. Is that all? It's not been too bad today so far. I may go out for a short walk later on. What did I say? We're 10 to 3. 4. Yeah, I think I will. Just an hour. Evening stroll. and decide what other little jobs I want to do in here over the weekend that I could maybe get done. I said something before about putting a piece up on the side of the wheel arch, didn't I, so I can store stuff better in there. I might take a look at that. Then get some use out of you. Battery's charged back up to full today anyway, so got plenty of power in here. Make sure I've got enough of those little gas bottles as well, I best do that. That's all I've got for the time being then. Might do a little more later on. And there we are. I ended up doing both coats of paint on this yesterday, and I've done 3 coats of varnish on it today. Used a hard varnish because this will be getting splashed a bit, and it's come out rather well. Then I've just done this little back piece as well, which has got 2 layers of varnish on it. So now, to get it fitted. I do think first I'd best go grab the vacuum and clean this all up a bit. So I shall be right back. Alrighty then. I think that's all placed where I want it. So what I'm going to do is I've got a hole there and a hole there, so I'm going to drill this piece onto this piece first, screw rather, take that off, put the 3rd screw in down at that bottom end, put this back. I've got a hole there and there to do. How am I going to get and do that end? That's the question. Do I want to drill those base holes first and hope I can get it all lined up again? No, that would be a pain. No, I know what I'll do. I'll do these 2, then I'll take them back out. Then I'll do the markings for this. Then I can put this back onto this in the garage, do the 3rd hole, and they will be in place to just drop right back in over those holes. That's exactly how that's going to work out. No doubt about it. Nothing could possibly go wrong with this plan. But you know what? I can actually get at that. Oh wow! For once in this build, something's actually working out relatively easy. I've said that way too soon. Right, put that back. I want to make sure I don't go right through that block of wood. I'm gonna do nope, can have to go out. Alright. Just gonna have to be careful about it. One mark there. And then I'm using a 16mm screw for the back here. 1. Two. I'm not entirely sure that's gone through the back. Ooh. They've changed the colour. These are a lot more orangey. Go on you, get in there. Good. Now then, let's tack you off. Excellent. Put those screws away before I end up using way too long. And I am using 12mm screws to go down through the back here. Alrighty, drill. I think I'll clamp these up again just to hold it in place. Am I happy with where this is all sitting? Well, yes I am. Right, in that case, hole number 1. Very carefully. Hole number 2. And let's put your screws in. I have not countersunk these holes into the top though. Might not need it, we'll see how the screws do. Yep, good. Next one. Good. Right. is we? Marked. And then go on, screw, get in there. Where have you gone? Yeah. Excellent. All it's going to need now then is a bit of mastic along the bottom there to stop some water seepage, and some up there. Next thing to do, put the wire in, which is already running under the bed. So let's feed this back along. Where are we? Tidy this up a little bit. Right. By gum. There we go. Excellent. We'll just drop you back down a bit, bed, please. Good. This may be just a tad too long. I'll get some cable ties, I think, in a bit to tie that all up. But for now, let's plug you in. Go on, in you go. Right then, we'll do it this way. Feed you through there. Get you in there. Pop you back in. And let's see. Yeah, that's my inverter kicked in. And the microwave's on. I have main power. I don't have to go crawling under my bed anymore. One of the reasons it's taken me so long to get this bit done is I had no idea where I was going to put it. I was thinking I'd have to build a box for it or something. But no, that'll do me there. On light is flashing, no error light. And now it's off. Awesome. All I need to do now, tidy up this wiring. And by me, I mean I might leave that for Mum, because I know she likes helping out. I'm going to tidy up a bit now. Yep, tidy up, put stuff away. That's a good job done. I just hope that this is going to stay stable, because this is the old piece that was off my bookshelf there, and that did actually split along there. I don't know if that'll hold. I did wood glue it at one point. I might try and put some wood glue in again. Worst comes to worst, I just have to take this off and replace this bit, but that shouldn't be too difficult. I'll just try not to rock it too much. But since there's no weight in there, it shouldn't, where's the sun gone? Light, that way. Since there's no weight actually pulling on that, it should be fine. Right, I think that's going to be it for this video as well, because I've got the Barmouth trip from Thursday. I've got starting work on this yesterday, and now it's wrapped up. So, that's it for this one. Actually more of an adventurous one that I've not done for a little bit. So if you are new to my channel and you've liked this one, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you want to. I do plan on doing more outdoors stuff in the very near future that isn't just climbing. Other than that, thanks for watching.